twisted pines. Halloween was not a time for playful costumes or candy hunts. For generations, villagers huddled in fear on October the 31st, for they knew that as the last rays of sunlight faded, the night would bring forth the feast. No one knew why the creatures came, only that they did. Every Halloween, as shadows deepened and the moon glowed blood red, creatures emerged from the forest, grotesque and ravenous. They slithered and crawled, their forms a nightmarish blend of fangs, claws, and hollow, hungry eyes. Each beast had a distinct spine-chilling feature. Some had limbs elongated, like stretched. Others moved with the unnatural slither of twisted bone, white skin. Yet they all shared one thing common: a taste for flesh. As they listened to the eerie silence that blanketed the village every Halloween. The villagers gathered together in homes, barricading doors and windows with iron and salt, hoping the creatures would pass them by. Tonight was no different. Families huddled in corners, eyes darting to the doors, hearts pounding with each gust of wind. Finn had grown up hearing tales of past Halloween horrors. His father once told him about an old man, Wick, who dared to peer out his window one Halloween night. They found him the next morning, or what was left of him, his face frozen in an expression of pure terror. Rumor had it he'd seen something that's not only claimed his life, but also his soul, leaving his eyes hollow and his skin drained of color. A scraping like claws against stone. His sister whimpered beside him, her tiny fingers trembling in his hand. The noise grew louder, accompanied by an unholy growl that rattled the windows. Finn felt his heart sink. The creatures was here. He knew the village rule. No one opens a door. No one utters a sound, no matter what happens outside. Then through the thin walls, Finn heard something that chilled him to the bone. A voice familiar and desperate. "Help me," it whimpered. It was the voice of his best friend, Peter. Finn clenched his fists, torn between loyalty and fear. Peter's voice grew louder, pleading with a desperate that tore at Finn's heart. May whispered, "No, Finn, don't go. Please, brother, don't go." But something deep within him steered. He couldn't abandon his friend. Peter's cries were fading, dissolving into a strange, guttural laughter, as if his friend's voice had merged with something sinister. He could almost sense the eyes on the other side, waiting, watching. He backed away, clutching May, his heart a thunderous drum in his chest. Outside, the creatures roamed the streets, their shadows stretching long and thin across the cobblestone. Finn dared to peek through a crack in the shutter, catching a glimpse of one, a hulking, skinless beast with teeth that seemed to drip shadows. It sniffed the air, eyes glowing like embers, and for a moment it gazed, locked into him. Finn froze, but the creature only smirked as if savoring the promise of a future feast. Hours passed like centuries until the first light of dawn crept into the village, banishing the creatures back into the forest. The villagers emerged, cautiously, faces pale, breaths shallow, doors open, revealing families shaken but safe. But some homes remained quiet, their inhabitants missing, their doors scratched and battered from the night's terror. Finn and May clung to each other, relieved to have survived another Halloween. But as they looked across Black Hollow, a dark realization settled in his heart. Every year the creatures grew bolder, hungrier, and one day he feared there would be no dawn that would save them. It hunts them. It hunts them.